video will demonstrate how to use the Snellen chart. The chart is used to assess visual acuity in patients, and it should be performed before you dilate the eyes. When you do the Snellen chart, dim the lights in the room, but for the purpose of this video we will be keeping the lights bright. So firstly, place the patient, needs to be 6 metres away from the Snellen chart. As this room is too small, we utilise a mirror to reflect the Snellen chart. And it is measured, so as long as the chair is placed here and there is a reminder on the wall, then it is at the correct distance. Firstly, check if the patient needs to wear any corrective glasses. If they wear glasses or contact lenses for distance, then they need to be wearing them for the exam. So our patient doesn't wear any corrective glasses or contact lenses. So we ask them to cover or close one eye, and in ophthalmology, generally start with the right eye, unless there's a need to assess the other eye. So if you could go ahead and cover your left eye or close it with your hand. And when you're ready, can you see the eye chart lit up in the mirror? Yes. When you're ready, can you start from the top and slowly read down for the letters?
V, T, E, L, C, A, T, N, X, O, O, V, E, H, U, U, X, T, L, M, H, L, A, O, E, V, K, O, U, T, X, H, F.
So this patient has demonstrated they've reached the lower line on the chart, which we would record as 6 over 6. So the top number is the numerator, and that's the distance, which is always going to be 6 metres on this chart. If you see it written as 2020, that's the equivalent but in feet. So for this patient, she's excellent vision uncorrected, and it's also important to document if the vision is corrected with spectacles or with one of these, a pinhole. So if our patient had a problem reading the letters, we would ask them to read again using the pinhole. So if I could just ask you to, now with your left eye, hold this up to the bridge of your nose and just take time to focus through the small holes. And when you're ready, could you try and read the smallest line with your left eye, please?
O, U, T, X, H, F.
Excellent, thank you. So just remember to clean the pinhole before it's given to the patient and afterwards as well. They will follow a picture now of documentation of how to record the Snellen chart. Thank you. Okay, so to document your findings of your Snellen chart, your visual acuity, you need to record the lowest line that the patient was able to read. So in our previous example, the patient was able to read right down to the bottom, which we've recorded as 6 over 6. As we saw, we can have the patient try to improve their vision using the pinhole, and if their vision improves, it suggests that there is a refractive component to the patient's poor vision. So we would repeat it on both eyes, and then when we go to document our findings, we record the visual acuity as the distance, which, if you remember, I said will be 6, because we're always testing at 6 metres. And if the patient reads to the bottom line on this chart is 6, it will be 6 over 6. If, however, they were to get 2 letters wrong, then we will still record that as 6 over 6, like a fraction, but minus 2. So 6 over 6 minus 2 letters that they got wrong. And also document PH for pinhole, if it is corrected with a pinhole, or if it was without anything, unaided would be UA, or with glasses as well. You may see some documentation that might say DC means distance corrected, or SC means sin correction without correction. So if the patient gets quite a number of letters wrong, if they get more than 2 letters, then we should really be documenting it's the line above, so 7.5 on this chart, and then we can add in how many letters they got correct. So if they were to read to the U here, I would document that as 6 over 7.5, but I would remark on the +2. If you find your patient can't read the chart at 6 metres, there are a few things that you can do. First of all, you could move the patient nearer the chart. So you could move this chair, you could half it, you could do it at 3 metres, and if the patient's able to read, you would then record that as 3 over whichever line they're reading down to. If you find that's still not working, you can move to the chart metre by metre. Remember that it isn't a mirror. There are tape measures in the department that you can use if needed. If you get to a point where your patient's at 1 metre and they still cannot see the chart, we need to start adapting and using initially counting fingers. So we would just hold up however many fingers you want to and record the distance you are away from the patient. There may be some patients that aren't able to do that. So if they're unable to see counting fingers, which we'd record as CF and just remark on the distance, the next thing to do is hand movement. So literally moving your hand at a set distance from the patient. If they still fail this, we next look at perceiving light. So it's whether the patient basically can perceive light, and then we record that as such. Thank you.